Yeah, welcome in, welcome back to another episode of the Format Podcast. Got another interesting show for you here today, and it's going to touch on the never-ending GOAT debate. And well, it's going to be another feather in my cap on proving me right in terms of who the actual GOAT is. But we'll get to that in a second if you haven't already. And you're here on YouTube, you know what you got to do. Go ahead, click that subscribe, that like, and that notification bell so you can be made aware whenever new episodes are coming out. If you're looking for the audio-only version of the podcast, you know where it is. Go ahead, open up your audio podcast platform, click the search bar, type in the Format Podcast, do a little search. We should come right up. If you enjoy the content, please make sure you give us that thumbs up or that 5-star review. Make sure you share the podcast with other sports fans you know who might like it and want to hear a different voice and kind of a different opinion or different thoughts from what you hear in the regular mainstream sports media. And make sure you do all these things because it helps us rise in the algorithm, helps us find more sports fans, helps more sports fans find us. Now let's get right to it. So, the never-ending GOAT debate. And who are the people in the GOAT debate? For most people, it's Michael Jordan and LeBron James. For me, if you know and you're familiar with me and you're familiar with this channel, you know LeBron James is not in the GOAT debate. But it's not about me at this particular moment. Many people do have LeBron James in the GOAT debate, either as the best player of all time or as the second best player of all time. Now, I pointed to a lot of things over time, and there's a lot of episodes on this channel you can go back and look at that kind of say what I feel about LeBron James and why he's not in the GOAT debate. You know, things like degree of difficulty in his era, things like the fact that he hopped around and loaded up teams and super teams to try and win his championships, the fact that he has lost 6 times in the NBA finals already, and only 2 all-time great players have more finals losses than he does, right? All these things to me remove LeBron James from the GOAT debate. As well, the fact that players don't fear LeBron if he's supposed to be as great as many people say, the way they feared Michael Jordan. Not my opinion. You can go research that. The fact that you hear former players and current players now talking about who they would have in their all-time starting fives. The fact that recently there was a poll put out among current NBA players that still has Michael Jordan favored over LeBron James. And a lot of players in the current NBA aren't even old enough to have seen Michael Jordan play outside of YouTube videos and highlights, right? But anyway, all that to me goes ahead and says LeBron James is not the GOAT. LeBron James shouldn't even be in the GOAT debate. But that in of itself is a different story. But what I want to talk about here is the fact that yet another player, and this one is really interesting to me, made his all-time NBA starting five, and LeBron James is not on it, okay? Guess who that player was? That player was Ray Allen, one of the best shooting guards in the history of the game. Probably a top 10 shooting guard of all time, maybe top 7, depends on how you rate it. Anyway, Ray Allen, coincidentally, is a guy who has been in the league long enough to have played against Michael Jordan when Michael Jordan was still winning championships. No, not the Wizards Jordan, who was old and who had knee issues, etc. No. The 1996, 97, 98 second three-peat Chicago Bulls Michael Jordan, who was still clearly the best and most dominant player in the NBA. That guy, yes. So Ray Allen played against him early in his career, okay? Now, Ray Allen, later in his career, played against and with LeBron James. Ray Allen also saved LeBron James's bacon in the 2013 NBA Finals with arguably the greatest shot in NBA Finals history. Because, listen, LeBron fans, you can argue this all you want, but the fact is, Ray Allen doesn't make that shot, and LeBron's going home with yet another loss on his finals record. But again, not here to talk about that. That is fact. History proves it. Okay, moving right along. Here's the deal. So remember what I just said. Ray Allen played against Michael Jordan. He played against LeBron James. He played with LeBron James. So that to me says that he would know LeBron James intimately as a basketball player, correct? Cool. So Ray Allen, I don't know if he was asked or if he just laid, I'm sure he was asked, but he laid out his all-time NBA starting five. And I got to say, his looks remarkably like mine, except for one player. So 4 out of 5 ain't bad, right, Ray Allen? I'm sure you would take that if you could make 4 out of every 5 3-pointers you shot. But anyway, no. If you remember, let's go back real quick. My all-time NBA starting five was Magic at the point, Mike at the shooting guard, Bird at the small forward, Karl Malone at the power forward, and of course, Hakeem Olajuwon at the center. And I think no team assembled, no starting five assembled can beat that team. You have offense, you have defense, you have perimeter defense, you have brilliant basketball minds in terms of playing the game and knowing how to play the game. You have the greatest passer in history. There is nothing missing. All right. So that's my. So now, looking at Ray Allen's all-time NBA starting five, I thought it was remarkably similar. He's got at the one point guard spot, Magic Johnson, the greatest point guard hands down who's ever played the game of basketball. And in my estimation, the second best player of all time. At the shooting guard, come on, man, who else is it going to be? There's no question about this. Michael Jordan, the greatest shooting guard of all time, the greatest basketball player of all time. At the small forward position, Larry Legend himself, Larry Bird, in my estimation, best small forward who ever played. You know, some people disagree with that, but I believe wholeheartedly he's the best small forward who ever played. Then Ray Allen follows it up with at the four spot. Now this one is interesting. I guess at the four spot, he's got Hakeem the Dream Olajuwon, who is my guy, my number 5 player all time, and who I regard as the greatest center of all time. You all know how I feel about Dream. I've talked about it ad nauseum, but anyway. And at the 5 spot, he has the big diesel himself, Shaquille O'Neal, who over a 3-year stretch was arguably the most dominant physical specimen the NBA has ever seen. The 3 years where he played against in the NBA Finals in 2000 against the Indiana Pacers, totally dominated Rick Smits in the NBA Finals in 2001 against Allen Iverson and the 76ers, and then in 2002 against the New Jersey Nets with Jason Kidd. So that was as dominant a 3-year run as you will ever see in terms of 3 straight Finals MVPs. And I want to say he averaged like 36 and 14 over that 3-year stretch in the NBA Finals. So Shaq was just a total and complete monster. And so what are we saying here? Why am I bringing this up? You know why I'm bringing this up. Because this is not some talking head. This is not me sitting here giving my opinion from far away, right? This is a guy, again, who played in the league for a long time. This is a guy who played in the league long enough to have played against a near peak Michael Jordan. This is the guy who played in the league long enough after that to have played against a peak LeBron James and then with LeBron James, right? So the fact is this is not some quote unquote hater talking. This is a guy who knows and knows well. So when you watch it and you say you're Ray Allen and you know, okay, this is a guy who lined up across from him and he went at LeBron and LeBron went at him and he watched his guy Paul Pierce hand LeBron James work, right? He watched that. And then he says, okay, you know what, Celtics, I'm not getting the deal that I want here to continue my playing career, so I'm going to go down to Miami, and Miami's going to pay me. Then he goes down there, and I believe he came off the bench. I don't even think he was starting in Miami, but he accepted his role, right? They get to the NBA Finals, and he gets the second championship on, again, the greatest shot in NBA Finals history, arguably. It's either him or Kyrie, right? Coincidence, 2 of LeBron's championships. Anyway, we're not going to go there, right? Yeah. But no, seriously, Ray Allen makes the shot that saves LeBron in 2013. And you can argue it all you want, but it's right there. Just go back and watch it. Ray Allen makes that shot. Ray Allen doesn't make that shot. LeBron is sitting with 7 finals losses. I mean, it is what it is, not my opinion. So anyway, this is a guy who I imagine he knows LeBron well. I imagine he knows Michael Jordan well. And the fact that he didn't put LeBron James on his starting 5 is just another player telling you what I've been telling you. And what I thought was so interesting, I don't know if he felt pressured to do this or he just said, okay, well, this guy's pretty good too, because LeBron James is an all-time great player. Don't let me fool you. He is an all-time great player who has had an all-time great career. All right, got it. Now, he puts LeBron James as his 6th man coming off the bench. How are you supposed to be the GOAT and you can't even start? How are you supposed to be the greatest player of all time and you're the 6th man coming off the bench? Does that make any sense to you people? Does that make sense to you, LeBron lovers? It makes no sense to me, but it is what it is. So anyway, what I want to know from you is, what do you think about Ray Allen's all-time starting 5? And again, remarkably similar to my own. Very interesting. Only 1 player difference, and I'm not even mad at this starting 5 that he has. Remember, I had Karl Malone instead of Shaquille O'Neal, but that's cool. But realistically, what do you think of Ray Allen's all-time starting five? Do you think that a guy can be the greatest player of all time and not even be named in the all-time starting five of another all-time great player who played with him and against him? Go ahead, leave your comments in the comment section. Can't wait to hear from you. I'll be back next episode, and I'm out. Peace.